Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. This is Simon with AvaTrade. Welcome to our weekly webinar, mapping out your week ahead. And as always, I'll be using the favorite quote of traders when they say you plan your trade and then you trade your plan. And this is the whole idea of what we're doing here. Just trying to get organized, trying to gather all the information, put it all in an organized way, and see about the upcoming trading week. Few things about myself. My name is Simon Friedman. I'm a senior account manager with AvaTrade. I started my trading career as a prop trader back in New York in June of 2000. So it's almost 26 years now that I've been involved with trading. Quite a journey. And after doing prop trading for about 11 years, I moved on to a different way of trading and also started to mentor and educate others. And I'm very happy that I have this great opportunity to be assisting our customers at AvaTrade. So what we talk about here, and this information, of course, for new people, you regulars, you know what's happening. So we'll be talking about indices, stocks, commodities, Forex. We'll go through some fundamental things, including economic calendar, and some articles or highlights of the articles that we'll take a look, and then we'll switch to the trading platform for some technical analysis, and then we'll try to put it all together so we'll get some big picture in an organized way. And I think it's good to prepare yourself for the week, because this way your thoughts are kind of organized and you have a plan that you can stick to. Risk warning, everything we do here is purely educational. You can find a full statement at avatrade.com website. Our social media, please feel free to follow up and subscribe. You have Telegram, you have X, you have YouTube, which is, of course, my favorite. You have tons of information there, including educational materials. You have tutorials, you have webinars, the whole history of webinars. You can watch them and learn a lot from it. If you are watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to click likes if you like it, share with people that you think will benefit, and if you have comments, comments are welcome. So what's happening? The big picture, it's all about Iran, right? We're in the middle of a ceasefire. If you remember, that was announced and the market started to run. Also, we had the end of the week, we had the announcement that the Strait of Hormuz is fully opened and the market went crazy. It looks like we hit all-time highs on indices. Some individual stocks had a nice success rally. Oil fell significantly, 10, 11, 12%, depends how you look into it. So that was a big news, right? And now it looks like we're facing the same issue again. It looks like the strait is closed by military of Iran. And of course, the markets are still closed. When they open tonight, European time, we probably see some gap downs. And we can judge it by the cryptos, the asset that's trading 24/7. And we saw some major sell-off in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So similar ideas, we went up. It could be that we, catch up with some common sense of the situation, and we might see the gap downs when the market reopens. So a few articles. These articles are from marketwatch.com and the Barron's. So let's just go through them really quick. So here it is. Nasdaq scores longest winning streak since 1992 as historic stock market comeback continues. Right, 13 sessions. Right here it says the Nasdaq Composite achieved a 13-day winning streak, its longest since 1992, and the best 3-week percentage gain since April 2020. The Magnificent Seven tech stocks collectively gained 2.5 trillion in market value over 8 days, reaching a combined 22.06 trillion value. That's crazy. Tech and software stocks rebounded significantly after being oversold, while semiconductor names continued to power higher. So this is one article. And here we go. This was going into the weekend, right? It says a full normalization scenario. I purposely put it in. This article is dated April 17th, 4:28 Eastern time. It's 28 minutes after the market was closed on Friday. So a fully normalization scenario for oil is still out of reach, even with the Strait of Hormuz now open. So this is old news, but I'll just go through it really quick. Iran has declared the Strait of Hormuz open for commercial vessels, contingent on the Lebanon-Israel ceasefire, which expires April 26. Oil price fell sharply. WTI dropped 11.5% to 83.85 a barrel in June. Brent fell 9.1 to 90.39. Experts express skepticism due to unclear details, potential sea mines, insurance reluctance, and U.S. naval blockage. And here comes the news. The 18th, which was Saturday, at 1:30 p.m. EDT. Iran reclaims control of Strait of Hormuz. Trump's still optimistic about the peace deal. Iran military reclaimed control of the Strait of Hormuz Saturday, citing the U.S. refusal to lift its naval blockade. President Trump stated that U.S. naval blockade will remain until the peace deal, causing oil prices to fall 9%. Iran's parliament speaker warned the strait will not remain open with the blockade, increasing shipping uncertainty. So this is the news. It looks like it's closed. So before we go further, this is the whole, and it's been since the beginning of this war, right? The end of February when it started. It's all about the Iran, it's all about the Strait of Hormuz, it's all about oil situation and how it affects everything. So let's see how the market is. I mean, if this thing doesn't change, then the market opens, so that obviously we're going to have some gap downs in indices overnight. We had Netflix after the earnings, the stock fell sharply, and this is the article. So, you know, I thought maybe it's due to earnings, but now it makes sense here. When the successful CEO steps down, sometimes we see some panic in the company. So this is the article. Reed Hasling create a war culture that made Netflix a giant. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but the key point here that he's stepping out in June here. Netflix co-founder Reed Hasling is stepping down as executive chair in June, confident the company's strong culture will ensure its continued success. I think he's been running the company since 1997, and the company did great. It says right here, since Hasling transitioned from co-CEO in early 2023, Netflix stock has risen over 180%, with 2026 revenue projected up to 51.7 billion. Okay, so let's see how that develops. We'll take a look at the chart when we get there. Now, Meta reportedly eyes more layoffs, targeting 10% of staff, and they're all focusing on AI. They're investing a lot. And it says right here, Meta Platforms is reportedly planning to lay off approximately 10% of its workforce, or 8,000 employees, by May 20th. That's a month from now. The company is aggressively investing in artificial intelligence, expanding its agreement with CoreWeave for an additional 21 billion in compute. Meta's Reality Labs division, responsible for virtual reality, lost over 19 billion in 2025. All right, so these are the things. So it's Iran, Netflix, Meta. The Fed situation, you know, I keep on putting it, but it's not putting it up, but it's not changing. We still have almost 0% probability for the interest rate cut, even though Trump is pushing it, and it's not happening. Here we go. Economic calendar. A few words for new people, what this is. It's public information. I think every trader should know about these things ahead of time. That's why we're trying to do it on Sunday and covering the whole week. You should prepare yourself so you won't be caught by surprise if you are an active trader. So you can find it on our app or the web trader, or just Google it. There's tons of providers. It's public info. Nothing's hidden here. All open information. So here I take out only the high impact events. As you could see, everything in red, and the time here is GMT. So let's just go through it really quick. Monday, we have the CPI numbers from Canada and New Zealand. Tuesday, we have employment data from UK, and very important, retail sales from US. This is a report. It's going to show, of course, the effect of the oil prices and everything else. Why am I connecting it? You know, retail sales just showing how consumers are purchasing things, and the oil prices or the gas price at the gas station went up from, I think, 280 to 4 average price. So that's a huge percentage in the price, and definitely it does affect the retail consumers. So let's see how this number is. They actually consensus, they're showing actually a positive here as far as consensus. I really don't know why such an optimistic prediction here, but we'll find out. Wednesday, we have CPI numbers from UK, and we have President Lagarde's speech of the European Central Bank. Thursday, we have PMI numbers from Germany, European Union, also UK and US. So Thursday is the PMI numbers here. And Friday, we have retail sales from UK, and we have a chairman from Swiss National Bank speaking on Friday. So these are the things for the upcoming week. Winners and losers, as you could see, on the winning side, we had metals and equities. Some of them huge moves. You have silver up for the week, 7%. Now, just to be clear, these are all futures, right? Silver up 7%, Nasdaq 611, cotton up almost 6%, Bitcoin nice move, 5.6%, which is at least partially raised over the weekend. S&P is up almost 4.5%, Nikkei 4.3, Palladium almost 4%, copper 388, platinum 37. Sorry for the sign here, it's supposed to be percentage. Wheat up 355, DAX 345, Dow Jones 314, and gold 192. And of course, to the downside, we had energy futures here. Crude oil down 11.24, mostly happened on Friday, right? Heating oil almost 10%, coffee down 394, sugar 295, and cocoa 141. So these are the winners and the losers for the week. And we do it every week. Sometimes the moves are continuing. Sometimes we have the reversal the upcoming week. It depends, of course, on the markets. Okay, let's move to the platforms. It will just take me a second to open it. Give me just 1 second. For some reason they closed. One second, I'll be with you. Okay, I hope it works now. So this is the MT4. I'm going to also open the MT5 as some of the stocks. By the way, I'll just run a little bit up front. We're still in the earnings season. So this week we have about 90 companies out of S&P 500 reporting their earnings. So that also will create an impact on the markets, that's for sure. We're going to go through some of the companies that are big names. Okay, so we'll start with indices. Sorry for a little delay here. China. As you could see, second consecutive robust week to the upside. We're approaching possible resistance around these areas. As you could see, very strong move. This week, we actually traded every day in green above 200-day moving average. So we kind of got out of this 15,087 resistance that was holding for a while. Also, Japan, as we said, the Nikkei made, or at least would touch the all-time high, And then let's see if we closed here. 59,785 was the high of February 26. And we closed 40 points lower, even though we were higher there. So as you could see, across the board, the indices are super strong. Here's S&P's all-time high, 3 consecutive weeks to the upside. But what's interesting here, take a look. As we're making big candles to the upside, the volume is shrinking here, right? It's important to really see. Take a look. This is the line here on the volume, as you could see. The volume is shrinking. So it just shows us that we could be seeing reversal besides, paying attention to fundamentals, just a thought. So all-time highs, there's no resistance there, so we can't really set any resistance points at this point. A similar idea here on NASDAQ. As we're going higher, the volume has decreased. Dow Jones, the only one, didn't make the all-time high, even though we made a nice 3-week advance move there. Let's see the small caps. The Russell 2000 all-time high. Also, the volume is shrinking as we're going higher. DAX, 3 consecutive weeks, of course, we didn't reach the all-time high here. And UK also didn't reach the all-time high, 3 consecutive weeks to the upside. And the French index, also a nice recovery here, also not making all-time highs. So those are the indices, right? And as we said, with the new development of reclosing the Strait of Hormuz, we might see some gap downs with the market open tonight, late tonight. So these are the indices. Now, to the stocks, right? Where Netflix, just want to show you Netflix, what it did. If I find it. Here we go. I'm gonna bring it on MT5. Here you go. There was a gap down after the earnings, the Thursday earnings they reported. We had a gap and a closing at the previous kind of support here. From this point, we made the high. So the low here was on the 8th of April. The low was 97.37, and we closed at 97.25, around that area. So let's see Netflix and departure of the CEO. Let's see how it plays out there, right? Now, Intel is continuing to show strength. We spoke it, I think, last week with they have some serious orders and some real money coming in. So as you could see, Intel, 3 consecutive weeks, huge month for Intel. We reached that level of January of 2020, as you could see here. We closed pretty much on the level of April 2021, right? No, sorry, this is January of 2021. Almost 5.5 years recovery, pretty fast here, right? So Intel it looks like it's back in the game. Now, as we said, we have about 90 companies out of S&P 500 reporting this week. So few major ones here. United Health, the stock is very strong in affecting Dow Jones. Here we go. Currently, it's at 323. It looks like we're trying to close this gap here. Let's see what the earnings will do. We are currently above 200-day moving average here. Now, also we have AT&T reporting. So United Health on Tuesday. Wednesday we have AT&T, Boeing, IBM, and Tesla. So this is AT&T trading below 200-day moving average here. We just had a sell-off after reaching the previous resistance here. So AT&T we're going to watch for Wednesday's report. Boeing is the other one. Let's see, I have it on MT4, I think, instead of looking it up. Here we go. going 3 consecutive weeks to the upside together with the market. We're trading above 50-week moving average here. On the daily chart, also take a look at how the all 3 major, the 50 and the 200, they're in the same spot here. So Boeing reporting on Wednesday as well. Then we have IBM reporting. Let's see how that stock looks. IBM hasn't been a winner lately, as we all know. We had a big sell-off here in IBM going into February. Then we made a nice move to the upside, but we keep on making, or at least kept on making, lower highs and lower lows. And we just broke that pattern here, and we're trading above 50-day moving average here. If you remember a while ago, I think we spoke about the quantum computing, and that gave the boost for IBM. So maybe something will come up again. They are reporting on Wednesday, and of course Tesla. For some people, it's a favorite stock there. Here comes Tesla. A nice recovery here from the we spoke about these levels here, if you remember, around 340s, the previous support. Nice move with a lot of gaps, trading right on 200-day moving average here. Let's see how the earnings will affect the stock here. Then on Thursday, we have American Express, Intel that we spoke about, very important with the recent move. Okay, here's Intel, right? Let's see if the earnings will support this recent move to the upside. So on Thursday, there's Intel, there's American Express reporting as well. Take a look at how we rejected the 200-day moving average with a big pin here, right? Doesn't look so great. The moment we approach it, we closed pretty much flat on Friday. Opening price 331.34. Closing price 331.36. We were up 2 cents after being up $8 or $9 going into the earning week. Doesn't look so great, right? American Express, Lockheed Martin. We spoke about this stock when the war started, right? It was a nice move to the upside, and since then, so reaching the peak here at the beginning of March, we've been sliding lower, making lower highs and lower lows, and we closed below the previous low here from March 30th. So the earnings are coming on Thursday as well, so maybe we'll see some boost in the price or not. All right, so those are the earning related stocks. Let's take a look at the big boys, how they look. Apple, nice recovery here with the market making highs. Amazon, super strong move. A lot of gaps here. I guess there was a lot of short squeezing going on. When you see the gap ups here and continuing with the gap ups, there's a lot of short squeezing. Could be some short interest that was squeezed. Microsoft, we are facing the resistance at the 100-day moving average here. It looks like it. Google, as you know, out of 7, Google's been the strongest. We are approaching the all-time high. Nice recovery here. Again, let's see if there are any developments as far as the oil channel, let's call it this way, the Strait of Hormuz. So that's Google. Meta, a nice move, closing about 200-day moving average. Let's see how that news with the cutting employees will affect the stock. As of now, this is pretty strong recovery here for Meta. Okay, now let's take a look at the banks. Let's see how they look after the earnings were released. Here we go. A lot of kind of a tight consolidation here for JP Morgan. Goldman Sachs, also we have a resistance to face in this area here, 920s, 930s. Bank of America, gapped, and we're flat pretty much. Citigroup looks the strongest. If you remember, I think we mentioned the same last week, that out of all the banks, the Citigroup looks the strongest. And take a look at this thing. We had gap after gap, correction and closing. We did close the week on the highs here, right? So the banks look look okay, and the Citigroup looks the strongest out of the whole group. All right, so these are the stocks. Let's move to commodities. We'll go through those winners and losers really quick. We have silver. I forgot to group them, so I'm going to search for them. Silver, nice move. We're trading between 50 and 100-day moving average here, up 7% for the week. Cotton, up 596. Super parabolic move on cotton here. And take a look on the 200-week moving average here and closing the gap. Okay, so this is something to pay attention. We just close this gap here, and we're hitting the 200-week moving average here. So we could be facing some resistance possibly, or maybe not. Maybe we'll continue higher. Also on the daily chart here, where the golden cross here, after a while being below the 50-day moving average, reached above. This happened, I think, a few weeks back, and we're continuing higher here. So that's cotton. Palladium. The weekly gain, but it started strongly on Monday, but then we gave away about half of that gain here. So anyway, we finished the week positive. Palladium up 393. Copper, of course, we haven't spoken about it for a while, but with the China moving higher, copper is very sensitive to it. So we had a nice advance to the upside. And as you could see here visually, we're facing a resistance around here. A lot of attempts to break it. Then we broke here back in the end of January, came right back. Since then, we haven't really tried to have a nice move to the upside. We're still holding this level here around 607, 608 on copper. Platinum also strong. We're facing this resistance here on 2122 area. So you could see here we are between a 50 and 100-day moving average here. And the last one of commodities from the winners and losers is wheat. We started strongly and sold on Friday on wheat. Now, of course, to the downside, the energy futures are struggling. Again, where the things are as of this moment, we could see a bounce in oil, of course. We had a big sell-off here. Take a look. It happened very strong. We were at 117 on the 7th of April. A big drop on the 7th of April. Tried to recovery, another leg down, and the third leg down here, holding this previous support around 84, even though on Friday we reached almost 80.54 here. So again, if the things don't change before the market open, we could probably see a bounce in oil, crude oil. Heating oil as well, down 968 below the 50-day moving average here. We could see that reversal as well. Coffee selling down almost 4%, 3.94% here. Sugar as well, continuing selling here. We thought we would stop here at the double bottom, but it looks like we're extending the sell-off here on sugar. Doesn't look so great, right? Sugar down 2.95%, and cocoa also down after breaking the previous resistance here. I guess we're shopping for real buyers here. This was a nice move, nice attempt, which actually faded away the next 3 days. And we're back at 3,200 area. That's on cocoa. All right, that's commodities. Let's take a quick look at Forex. And of course, with oil falling, we had a nice drop in US dollar. Where are you, US dollar? Here you are. Take a look. With the gap, continuation, breaking the 200-day moving average here. Had a spike to the downside to 97.40s here and bouncing back. So again, you know, I keep on repeating itself, but nothing, you can't avoid it. But with this situation, we might see the bounce in the oil, and that would probably cause the bounce in US dollar as well. And of course, the majors Here you go. We had a nice move in euro, reaching the previous resistance here and reversing right there. Pound, similar situation. Australian dollar is the only one that holds very, very strong against the US dollar. I think we mentioned in the past as well. There's some reason for the strength of Australian dollar. It could be the rebound of China's, the Australian and New Zealand dollar, both they called commodity currencies as they deliver a lot of goods to China, and the currency depends on that. New Zealand dollar, though, is not as strong as Australian. We are facing this resistance here in 0.5920s, as you could see here. Dollar Swiss dropped off the 200-day moving average here. We're below 50 as well. And USD CAD as well, since this level here, 139.20s, we've been sliding lower, breaking. Actually, this week on Monday, we broke that 200-day moving average and continue lower. So let's see if possibly this level here could be playing a role of support. There's a possibility. Dollar yen is holding, though. As you could see here, we are above the 50-day moving average here. A lot of actions in this area here. Now, yen itself, let's take a look. Yen is, towards the end of the week, it gained some strength against pound here. Tried against the Australian dollar. Australian dollar is actually against the yen is a very strategic level here. So you could see this was the high from March 11th, and we're struggling to break that level here. So we could be seeing actually a nice move to the downside should the yen regain its strength. So this is one of the technicals here. CAD, you see a big outside bar here. So we're trying to move either higher or lower here. Again, no brainer, right? But we are facing also resistance coming up. Swiss, another one, Swiss yen, 1, 2, 3, or quadruple attempt to break the highs, and we're running out of steam, it looks like it, right? 3 consecutive red days, with Friday being a strong sell-off here. So there's a chance they're actually looking for some reversal, and if that happens, we might be coming to this 198.40s area, which is a nice distance here. But we're still looking strong, still trying to break that, but failing there. Euro. If you remember, we mentioned last week, I think, this level here from January 23rd, the high of 186.86. We did break through it at the beginning of the week, tried to move higher, couldn't, and on Friday we came back into this zone. So that resistance remained intact, 186.86 area. If we fail to break it and start building resistance again, we could see reversal to the downside. And New Zealand yen also 2 consecutive days towards the end of the week to the downside. So it looks like yen could be regaining some strength there. All right, so that's it pretty much with, one more thing, right? We spoke about the Hungarian forint, right? The elections was successful for the opposition. The Orban, after 16 years of running the country, he lost the elections. I'm not big about politics and government structure and so on. I don't know how the big picture is, but he lost the elections that we know. And as you could see here, the dollar continues the weakness against the forint here, right? And if you see the big picture, we have 5 consecutive weeks to the downside, and the last 2 weeks being very strong sell-off. And on the monthly chart, we could be coming to the area that could be support here around 295.80s. Let's see if that will happen. But judging by this reversal here and closing around the previous support, we could be facing the reversal even at these levels. Anything can happen, all right? So that's your Hungarian forint. And of course, for dessert, as usual, we'll take a look at the cryptos. And that's what I mentioned when the news came about the closing the Strait of Hormuz again. Take a look. It happened on Saturday. So we had the sell-off on Saturday, and today we're also in red. After reaching Friday, it was a strong day, as we said. Bitcoin was up for the week 5.6% before going to the weekend. The high was 78,340 here, according to this chart, and now we're trading at 75,400. All right. We can judge by the asset, but the cryptos, that the latest news of reclosing the trade is not really looking good. The same thing with XRP. We came from 50s, 150s to 140s here. All right, so I think we're done with technicals. Let's just summarize things. We have, again, on the map, the situation with Strait of Hormuz, and everything is connected to it. Even the Fed's decision with the inflation levels and the price of oil and the economy and everything else. So it's all connected to it. So as we said, if we don't see any positive development, and if things remained at the time of the reopening of the market, we might see gap down on the equities and gap up on the oils, and so on. We went through economic calendar. We have few important points, including the retail sales from US, some speeches, some inflation numbers from certain countries, and PMI numbers on Thursday from a lot of countries. So those are the things. The Feds are still not showing any progress in cutting the rate situation. So again, all eyes on Strait of Hormuz, as they say. I want to wish everyone a good weekend. We still have time left. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your families and loved ones. Get some energy, prepare yourself for the intense trading week. Have a plan, manage your risk, and lots of success to everyone. All the best.